There's been a lot of Nintendo Switch 2 coverage that honestly it's hard to keep up with. From trailers, announcements, all the sort. There's been quite a bit when it comes to this new console that Nintendo has put out. And these two stories are some of the biggest stories that I've seen here recently, and today I want to share them with you. So, I'm gonna read this story out loud. I'm gonna read this story, maybe about half of it. And if I can't pronounce any names, I will go ahead and put them as blank. That's all I'm gonna say. Right? It was the middle of the night when Blank found himself anxiously waiting on the streets of Moscow for a ride back home. In his arms, he held a Switch 2 box, and nestled within was the console fans have been waiting years to get their hands on, but which still didn't officially go on sale for more than a week. He was too nervous and excited to remember to bring something to hide it in. I forgot the bag. I forgot everything, he told Kotaku, and it was night, like 1 a.m. I am standing with the Switch 2 box, waiting for the taxi to go back home. And I'm like, hope nobody will, blank, speaking over Discord, with ski glasses on and a sprawling Doom Slayer tattoo snaking up his arm, trails off and starts laughing. His t-shirt says, Welcome to Hell, and a glass face of what looks like white carton sitting on a bookshelf behind him. Blank and Blank hosts a casual Russian gaming podcast. Its name literally translates to butts and culture. Its logo is a goatee reference. They started only a couple years ago and will be hitting their 100th episode. They tell me after Blank Summer Game Fest this year. How did these guys get a Switch 2 before almost anyone else? When it comes to this particular story, I would have to say it's a little strange considering the circumstance of how we got it. And while the normal way to get like a Switch, the normal way to get like a console early is to be part of the ambassador program. I don't think it was part of the ambassador program. I hear some people get like early access to consoles, like for the Nintendo ambassador program. I heard of that before, just never seen it in my opinion. But like I said, this is a strange way to get a Switch 2 before before it's announced or before it's even like I said like like I said before release. And well, I'm honestly surprised. Kind of happy at the same time cuz like I like I previously stated, it's a weird way to get a console, but wow, all the way from Dubai, and you know, these Russian podcasters are legitimate. They really are. And honestly, um, kudos to them because, well, this is pretty much the first time I'm hearing about this. So, quote me if I'm wrong. Quote me if I'm wrong because honestly, I've never seen this podcast before. But I would say, good for them. Good for them when it comes to this. Oh boy. Nintendo just keeps going on and on about the pre-orders and just about every single way of the word, and these big time companies are doing nothing to remedy customers when it comes to pre-orders of their own products that they just launched, including the Switch 2 that is about to come out in June. The Switch 2 is out on June 5th, which means that anyone who scored a pre-order will be keeping a close eye on its status. What most people expect What people expect or notice is that their Switch 2 has been processed or shipped, and that they'll get Nintendo's new console on time. Instead, some people are getting hit with the news that they won't be getting a Switch 2 at all. Judging from dozens of posts on social media sites like Twitter and Reddit. While some customers aren't surprised with this turn of events, they place pre orders days after most have been sold out at other major retailers. Others said that they placed their orders the day they went live. The situation is persuasive enough that it's prompting paranoia among fans, who are now regularly refreshing the status of their pre-orders and are praying that they're not next. Now, when it comes to this particular pre-order fiasco that we're experiencing right now with the Switch 2, I gotta say, what is up with the supply that they could not keep up with the demand? I swear to God, it happens with almost every single console that has happened in the last two generations that people are starting to get sick of it. And I'll be completely honest, I don't know. Quote me if I'm wrong, if this is the first generation that it's ever done this. Because, seriously, there's no reason why the supply is so short compared to the demand of people wanting the particular console. It's gotten out of hand. And they say that the counted pre-orders are happening on credit cards now, which I'm gonna be completely honest, like what is going on? What is going on? Nintendo, you need to get that straightened out. And this doesn't only go to Nintendo, but this goes to every single big company out there. You know, EA, Konami, Sony, Microsoft, those big companies. And I'm hoping that in the next products that they sell don't have an outbreak like this, because at this point, who knows what people are gonna do. And people are starting to freak out because of the pre-order. And I, I mean, yes, you could just wait a few days or a few months just to get the console, but at the end of the day, there's people that put their hard-earned money into this. uh, and that's the fact. That's the blatant fact. Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, and all these big companies don't get to sit in their high chair and don't get to attempt to do something that isn't right to do by customers. And if they're gonna sit in their high chair and continue to do this, then why are they even in the business to begin with? That is just so low, even for these companies. And I know I'm just speaking on Nintendo right now, but this is gonna happen to any other company. Sony, Microsoft, you name it. And we need to vote with our wallets as quick as possible. And I hope it doesn't end this way when it comes to the next flowing generations of gaming. It shouldn't happen like this. Please, big box companies, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Konami, the rest of you, please pull it together and get the supply to meet the demand. That's all we're asking.